former President Duterte. Can you tell me, bakit nandito kayo kahit tapos na ang birthday ni former President Duterte?
Para maipakita lang namin yung support, even a small way, because we know that what he did in our country was very rare from the previous one. So, na-feel namin na at least kahit sa ganitong maliit na paraan, maipakita namin yung suporta. We want to show support.
And kung mahaba ba itong trial, babalik pa kayo dito?
Hopefully, pagka babalik kami to show support. Hanggang sa kung ano man ang kalabasan nito.
Ano po ang message nyo para sa mga Pilipino na nasa Philippines?
Message?
Nagkakahiyaan pa sila dito, Pinky. Okay, ikaw na lang.
Ang message lang is dasal, and kung ano man yung pinagdaraan ng Tatay Digong ngayon, maybe part yan ng nasa taas, siya lang nakakaalam, kumbaga support lang at panalangin. And para sa mga Pilipino, kalma lang, kumbaga hayaan natin yung hustisya kung ano man yung ano dito.
So nung sinabi ni Vice President Sara Duterte na nagbibilin daw si PRRD na wag mag-intervene doon sa ICC case, ano ang reaction nyo doon?
Attorney Karen.
Legal, ang intense, saka yung mismo, sila na nakakaalam kung anong Yun lang po.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, Pinky.
Oh, sorry about that, Attorney Karen. Nag-freeze lang for a second or two, pero nakabalik naman sa inyo. Go ahead.
Oo. So, I was asking kanina kung ano yung reaction nila dun sa sinabi ni former President.
All right, Attorney Karen, again, nag-freeze, no? I'm not sure if you can hear me at the moment. But yeah, Attorney Karen there with some Filipinos who made their way from, was it Brussels? Did she say from Brussels? To there at the, in front of the detention center at The Hague to visit, well, to be there. And, oh, she's back. Attorney Karen, you're back. Pasensya na, it's just freezing.
Hi,
I mean,
hi
so
Pinky. Yes, oo, pasensya na siguro sa connection natin. But kanina, they are from Belgium. They're a group of 5 people that drove all the way from Belgium to be here today. And ang sabi nga nila, yung sa sinabi ni FPRRD na don't intervene in the ICC case, ang reaction nila to that is yun nga na that means pataan natin yung wheels of justice to function and to turn. Oo. And you know, Pinky, ngayon, we are seeing Attorney Nicholas Kaufman, the lead counsel of former President Duterte, walking towards here in the ICC detention facility. We'll see if kaya natin siya makuhaan ng statement, but right now, we are seeing him walking towards here.
All right, so in the meantime, we'd like to thank you, Attorney Karen. I hope baka mapapadaan ba dyan si Attorney Kaufman?
Yes, I'm seeing him right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you can, if our cameraman can pan this. Kung
Pakipan
makikita niyo siya.
sa kanan.
Yeah. Yes. He's somewhere, yeah, yung naka-black siya na suit. We'll try to get a statement from him, Pinky. Ayan, ito. Let's try to get to...
Go ahead, no, Attorney Karen. So while Attorney Karen is trying to get Attorney Kaufman to be able to speak to him, he is walking right now. Let's see.
Ayan, there. There's here. Attorney Nicholas, just to get an update, do you already have the legal team formed? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's here. Attorney Kaufman, have you formed your legal team? Oh yes, yes, wonderful. Yeah. 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 Here with attorney.
Yes, okay.
So, okay, sure.
All right, so
Yeah. Yes.
okay, so I want to start off, first of all, if I could, by telling you that the president, or former president, was made aware of the huge demonstration of support and love on his 80th birthday. I know that it touched him deeply, and he thanks all his supporters for that. I also want to say something regarding the supporters. Obviously, it's always welcome that there are supporters, but politics to one side and the judicial process to another side. And the family want me to convey a message that the judicial process must be respected. There must be absolutely no interference with the independence of the court, with the judges, and for all the parties. Every case at the International Criminal Court is always a highly charged case from a political point of view. There are participants in that process. There's the prosecution, there's the defense, and also there are the victims. The victims' counsels will make their submissions in court. Their right to make those submissions must be respected. So I ask everybody to bear that in mind. All the supporters who have demonstrated this huge expression of love, they should also bear that in mind as well. Thank you very much.
Sir, have you filed any motion for the interim release of the former president?
Once again, interim release is a complex process. We're considering it, and we'll file it at the appropriate time.
Have you? You're not yet filing. Have you filed or not yet?
I'm not telling you when I'm going to file anything.
How about, sir, you are mentioning in one interview that you have saw at least a compelling argument with regard to junking of the case in terms of jurisdiction. Can you just give us a little bit about it?
Well, I wouldn't use the word junking the case. Junking the case is slang. What I would say is that the jurisdictional arguments are arguments which have been bandied about for many years now. They've been considered by the Supreme Court in the Philippines. They've even been considered by the International Criminal Court. These are still valid, live arguments, and they will be argued in court at the right time.
Attorney Kaufman, have you completely formed the defense team for former President Duterte? Is it a complete team now?
Yes, we're putting the final touches to it.
Okay.
How many are still...
Are you waiting for another lawyer to be added? We heard that there's still one more slot.
Once again, I'm putting the final touches to the defense team.
Okay, so the final touches.
Mr. Kaufman, from an ethical point of view, because the former President Duterte publicly made a statement about relating the killing of the Jews to his war on drugs. Can you comment on that?
I'm not going to comment on that. People say things all the time. It's not my position to debate it. I have a job to do. I'm going to defend the former president to the best of my ability.
Attorney Kaufman, is there any chance for former President Duterte to have his case dismissed on a jurisdictional issue before the confirmation hearing in September?
To hear that argument, obviously I would like to heard first of all. I believe there are compelling arguments, and I will seek to persuade the judges, but the people who decide at the end of the day are the judges themselves. It's not my job to presume anything here. I believe that there is a strong argument for the lack of ability to exercise jurisdiction given the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute. I hope that the judges will accept my submission. They might decide, obviously, that they don't want to hear it at the earlier stages. They might want to combine it with the confirmation hearing itself. I hope that will not happen, but once again, it's not my position now to presume anything. I just make my submission, and the judges will decide.
Yeah, Attorney Kaufman, you received documentary evidences submitted by the prosecutor's office. Are there expunable evidences that you think?
The disclosure process is confidential, and I'm not going to disclose anything about it.
Sir, sorry to reiterate the question again. How can you say that you can argue with regard to the jurisdiction?
I think I've given my answer to it already, fairly comprehensively.
And you've talked with the family of former President Rodrigo Duterte, and including the visits. Are you also assisting with the visits of different family members?
As I said, it's the job of any counsel at the International Criminal Court not just to handle the legal side of things, but also the humanitarian side of things, and it's a right to receive visits from immediate family members.
And there are also issues about getting some funds from the ICC. Are you privy on that?
I'm not going to comment on anything to do with funding.
Attorney Kaufman, in the lighter side, I just want to ask, how are you?
Well, thank you very much. Maybe you've got information that I had an operation just before I came here.
Oh, you had an operation? Did you have a health issue?
No, I had a hernia fix.
Oh, okay. Have you been getting enough sleep? It must be very busy preparing for this case.
Well, if you know me well, I never sleep.
Oh, but you've handled other ICC cases. What is your estimate as to how long this will take?
I can't estimate, really. I really can't. All I can do is say that we will make the submissions, and I hope that those submissions will be accepted by the judges.
Mm-hmm. But what's the difference between handling this particular case and other cases that you've handled in the past?
Well, all cases are highly charged, as I said. Handling a case at the ICC is a challenge. It's always a challenge. Quite frankly, I don't differentiate between my various clients.
With a show of this much Filipinos coming from all over the world here at the ICC detention facility, compared to the other cases you've handled in the past, is this the first time you've seen a turnout like this?
Please don't be offended, but no, not really.
Oh, really? Have you seen this in other cases?
This has happened in other cases as well. When a case gets to a critical stage, then there is always a huge demonstration of support from people of the country concerned. And that's happened quite frequently in this court.
Can you give any particular example?
There was numerous African cases where supporters have turned out to support their various how could I put it, suspects who are detained in this building here.
Does that have any impact, negative or otherwise, on the proceedings?
Well, it can have a negative impact on the proceedings if, as I said, the media or the supporters turn against the judicial process, and the judicial process must be respected. As I've said, this issue is the subject of intense debate in the Philippines. But let's just put the politics on one side and the judicial process on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Attorney Kaufman, you mentioned that you worked with or you knew Prosecutor Karim Khan. Can you comment on that? Did you really work with him in some cases?
Put it this way, I've never worked with Karim Khan on a case together. I know Karim Khan for many years. He has a similar background to the background that I have. We've been working in international criminal tribunals for many years. I was a former prosecutor, right. So was he. So we've both worked on both sides of the tennis court, if I can put it that way. My familiarity with Karim Khan goes back many years. I respect him. I hope that he will be fair. I have no reason to doubt that he will be extremely fair in this process. And as I said, I look forward to working opposite him in the courtroom.
Attorney Kaufman, you're one of the few people who have seen former President Duterte. You get to visit him. How is he, health-wise and, physically and emotionally?
Well, as I said, he's in good spirits, and I will keep on saying that because he is in good spirits. Obviously, he's 80 years old, with all the accompanying medical issues that accompany someone who's 80 years old, and it's not easy to get adjusted to the life in UN detention or ICC detention. So those are the only challenges that he's facing at the moment.
Okay. All right, Attorney Karen.
Duterte that he's requesting from you?
Everything that I've said regarding the need to respect the judicial process is something that I know that he endorses fully. Okay, thank you very much. I've got to go in now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Attorney Karen, thanks a lot for that. Attorney Karen,
yes.
You're still on air. So
thank you,
of course,
Pinky.
Attorney
yes.
Nicholas Kaufman, just very quickly, really underscoring what he's saying, that the judicial process must be respected, and let's keep politics out of this case.
Yes. Yes, Pinky. And I think I also asked him if this was an unusual turnout, what we've seen with former President Duterte. I'm sorry, I have to wipe my nose. It's so cold here, Pinky. But I asked him earlier if he was surprised with the turnout of supporters here for former President Duterte. And he said, I hope it's not the first time. And he mentioned that for some of the African leaders that have been tried in the past and that he's represented, that there are some people who have also shown up at critical stages of the trial.
That's right. Thanks so much for the report, Attorney Karen Jimeno, our anchor for At the Forefront, reporting to us live from the Netherlands. Thank you again. And when we return, we'll have Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo Vega to talk about government's assistance in the deadly Myanmar quake and more. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back. You're watching On Point. Over 1,700 people are dead in the magnitude 7.7 quake that hit Myanmar last Friday. Authorities are racing against time to find those who are missing. A number of them Filipinos. Joining us now in the studio, Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo De Vega. Yusek, finally, in person. Thank you so much for your time.
Great pleasure. It was also my dream to be interviewed in person.
Thank you,
yourself.
sir. I wanted you to just have a quick reaction on the report of Attorney Karen together with Attorney Kaufman. I mean, this underscoring the right to respect the judicial process and really exclude politics from this whole thing. What is it really telling us?
This explains why the Marcos administration, in effect, followed the dictates of international law and followed the Interpol order. And that's why he was transferred to the Netherlands for the case. And his own lawyer says that the president, the former president, respects the judicial process, so must we. And the Philippine government's decision to send it is not just in compliance with international law, but it's also indication, or it's not supposed to be taken as an indication that we're prejudging him. He will have his day in court, and in a very fair way possible, because that is an international court. By the way, you have interviewed me, and you're interviewing me in my capacity as Undersecretary for Migration Affairs. We are actually, to show that there's no politics here, when the former president arrived and needed some assistance, I authorized our ambassador there, one of our best experts in international law, Jose Eduardo Malaya, Tocayo, to provide assistance, not financial assistance, but they went there without winter clothes, so they had to be given winter clothes. We had to help them get the quick visas. People like E.S. Medialdea, former Labor Secretary Celeste Bello, who invited him. Of course, we're not quite paying for Nicolas Kaufman. I'm pretty sure the former president and his supporters can afford the, I'm sure, impressive salary. And we saw that he's quite a lawyer of high standing.
Yeah. Well, also very experienced. Okay, so that quick reaction from you regarding that interview with Attorney Kaufman. Let's talk about, there's a number of issues, Yusek, that I wanted to discuss with you. Let's start with the Myanmar quake. What is the latest update on this? How many Filipinos are missing?
Well, before I say that, before I answer, I would like to express again the Philippine government's condolences to the government people of Myanmar. As you mentioned, nearly 2,000 have been declared, dead, and there will no doubt be more. There are still 4 unaccounted Filipinos in the city of Mandalay. There are 3 main cities where Filipinos work in Myanmar. That is the main city, Yangon, which used to be the capital. Naypyidaw, which is a government, government city.
What is that, sir?
Naypyidaw, N-A-Y-P-Y-I, 3 words, and T-A-W. And I was just there recently. And Mandalay, the old historic capital, where there are 151 Filipinos, and there is good bayanihan among the Filipinos there. A lot are teachers in international school there, and unfortunately, I must say, 4 are missing, including 2 who we know were residing. They're a married couple residing in a condominium building, which collapsed. So it's hope springs eternal. I mean, remember our earthquake in 1990. When 2 weeks after the Pines Hotel fell, there were still discovered survivors. So we are actually providing a humanitarian contingent to help the Myanmar people as well, as other governments are doing so, because they say that they don't have the capability to go through the rubble and search for survivors. We're sending them. They'll be there in a day or 2.
Right. So I wanted to show a little bit of a map so we understand it better, Yusek. When you look at Myanmar, in the middle is really Mandalay.
Yes.
And that is where a bunch of 151, you said, of our Filipinos are working there as teachers.
As teachers.
And dyan po nawawala yung 4?
Dyan po nawawala yung 4. Okay. The epicenter is just a little north of Mandalay. Yes. So.
And then our embassy or consulate is in Yangon.
It's in Yangon because In fact, I don't think there's a single embassy which is transferred to Nai Pietao, which is somewhere in the middle
yeah.
of Yangon and Mandalay. So it's a 4-hour drive from Yangon to the capital. But I understand now, because of the destruction, it will take 12 hours.
That's what I read
so,
too. 12 to 15 hours, they were saying.
Yes, and that's why we're sending a team, and they are very experienced in this. They were also sent to Turkey in 2023.
How big is this team, sir?
I understand it's almost 100. Let's wait for the DND to confirm, the Office of Civil Defense. Maybe it's up to 100 people. Maybe I heard wrong. That's roughly the number we sent last time. Maybe a little less. We're not doing it simply because we're going to look for our kababayans, no? It's to help everybody.
Myanmar.
Yes, and let's now let's hope for the best. Now there are 4 missing, and later I'm just getting it. We have the hotline of the Yangon embassy, which I'll give to you later when I get it right now, because if there are relatives here of Filipinos in Mandalay or elsewhere in Myanmar who are missing or have lost contact, they can contact them.
Call the hotline.
Yes, so, by the way, Thailand, the good news is at least in Thailand, none, and it looks like they're approaching as close to normalcy as you can. It was only during the first day where Filipinos were really panicking in Thailand, in Bangkok. They couldn't return to their high-rise buildings for many, many hours. But now it's getting back to normal. So that's a positive.
So while you're looking for the hotline, which is very important, again, I just want to, I guess, summarize that to those watching us. Sa lahat ng nanonood po sa atin ngayon, ang sinasabi po ni Undersecretary sa atin, ang maganda po dito is that kung meron daw ho kayong mga kapamilya, kapatid, or any loved ones or anybody you know, for that matter, who are missing, to please call this particular hotline so they can collate the names and to be able to find out more on the possible missing kababayans we have over there in Myanmar. And we're going to give you that hotline number.
Here it goes.
Okay.
The area code is +95. The number is 998 521 0991. I repeat, +95 998 521 0991. And the reason why we invite you to call is that we are aware of 4. Baka meron pa iba.
Yun na nga po.
Baka hindi sa Mandalay.
Right. Baka sa ibang lugar
there
sa Myanmar.
are over 700 legal workers. Not a lot, but they're there. Mostly professionals. The embassy is in touch with the PhilCom leaders. And everybody's concerned about those 4.
Is it true that the reason we know these 4 is because it was also yung mga fellow teachers nila nagsasabing sila yung nawawala?
Yes, and they've been appearing in social media. Kaya alam po natin, by the way, nakausap ko kanina yung kamag-anak ng isa sa kanila, ng mga spouses, taga Dumaguete. She's going to our DFA office in Dumaguete, and we'll see what assistance we can give. Obviously, we don't hope that it will be repatriation remains, but we'll see what we can do, because we've done this before, and there's also a standby fund which we will approve for the embassy of over $100,000 to spend for financial assistance, repatriation. May isa nang gustong mauwi, just one.
Babalik na po dito, gusto nang bumalik dito.
Gusto bumalik. Pero yung iba, hindi pa nagpapahiwatig. At lalo na sa Thailand, wala nagpaparinig na gusto nang
So, no problem in Thailand. No one is missing there. No Filipinos missing in Thailand.
So far,
that's
none.
clear.
By the way, kung ganon po, why don't we give a number for Thailand as well? Kasi wag dapat kampante, of course.
Sure.
Okay? Sa Thailand, ang area code, of course, is +66. The number is 989-7116. So +66-81-989-7116. 7116. That's for Thailand.
I'll repeat that. It's +66. Tama
Yes.
ho ba? 81.
Yes.
989-7116.
Tama
All
po.
right. Okay. So right now, no missing in Thailand, in Bangkok, but ito na nga po, there's still 4 missing in this area in the middle of Myanmar called Mandalay, where a number of our kababayans hold jobs as teachers. What were the other teachers telling? I mean, where are they living right now?
Right now, well, their places have not collapsed, no? So they're not in that condominium building, that 11-story building. Now, in case we are told by them that they would need shelter or to be transferred from Mandalay maybe to Yangon, we'll do it. We'll do it. It's a long ride there, but we will do it. We did that in Turkey before. The epicenter was very far from Ankara, but we brought many, almost 100 Filipinos, a lot minors, to Ankara. So we will do it in case they request it. And so far they're not requesting it. They could use some financial assistance because some may lose their jobs because Myanmar, well, temporarily, because Myanmar is now obviously in a state of emergency, so obviously there will not be schools for a while or anything. We'll provide them some financial assistance.
What kind of assistance can be given to them?
Financial assistance usually give there's no real cap, but usually we give anywhere 50,000 pesos, 100,000 pesos. In pesos, of course, we'll probably give it in dollars or Myanmar chat. That's the currency there. And in case they need shelter, we will also pay for their shelter. Not at a 5-star hotel or anything like that, but a decent place. And of course, in case they want to go home, they'll be repatriated. Where here there are other agencies under the whole of government approach which could help them: the DMW, OWA, DSWD, and DOH. Same as when we recently repatriated some Filipinos.
Yeah, but you were saying that so far only one had mentioned that he or she,
it's a he,
he would like to go home to the country.
But I think there'll be more.
We hope to get more updates regarding that. I just want to move on to the Filipinos that were or still are currently detained in Doha because of a pro-Duterte rally. Can you tell us what happened? Because I was reading other reports and interviews from you, and you were saying that they were gathering. It's as if they were just having a picnic, and that is not allowed, apparently. Unauthorized demonstration.
They were not arrested on March 28 itself. It was the evening of March 27. They were not in the city of Doha, but somewhere to the south in a beach resort called the Sea Line Beach Resort. They were told that it was just going to be a family gathering, a party, not a rally. The organizers even said that the entrance fee to the beach resort would become reduced by half. So some did go, but they knew that it would be an event to show support for the former president. But they were not intending to cause trouble. They were not going to be violent or anything like that. Now there were conflicting numbers of detainees. But now I just got a message from our ambassador there. Right now there are 17 still detained, 12 males and 5 females. 3 minor children of one of the females, not minors in 8 years old, but teenagers, have been released.
Okay.
So as for the 17, they're still being interviewed, being asked questions if they are, well, I don't think they will answer yes. If they're members of an organization which wants to create conflict in Qatar or Philippine-Qatar relations, nothing like that. But the Qataris want to know who organized it because it was not authorized. There were some who were on the way, about 7, who were on the way to the celebration. They were intercepted. But since they were not yet there, they were eventually released. Yeah,
So what was it? Was it supposed to be a picnic in the beach to show support for the former president?
It looks that way. That's what they were saying. A gathering, a party. What do you say? A family gathering. So it's a beach
But
resort.
if you
so,
say family gathering, you have to be related to each other.
well, of course, the Duterte supporters would say we're one family.
Oh, we're family, okay.
We're family. And our embassy in Doha already warned Filipinos.
They did.
Because there were already announcements in social media. In fairness, a lot of the Filipinos, a lot more would have gone if not for the warning. Meaning, they did heed the warning. Maybe these 20 didn't see the advisory of the embassy. And so they're detained. But our embassy and the lawyers are there already. Remember, I'll take the opportunity, mga kababayan po, pag nasa ibang bansa tayo, hindi umiira lang batas ng Pilipinas, ating mga embahada doon, of course, susubukan nilang tulungan kayo, tutulungan palagi kayo. This is bagong Pilipinas. At dati pa naman tumutulong ang Philippine government sa mga kababayan natin sa mga bansa. Pero hindi sila yung poder doon, hindi sila yung mga masusunod doon. It's still the Qatari authorities. We hope that in the end, they will eventually be released. We'll update you on that. But that, I'm sure there will be some expectations na hindi na maulit. No?
But they are detained.
Detained in the police station, not necessarily in prison as in they were prisoners. They were complaining because it's Ramadan that they were only being fed after iftar. So that will not be a problem now because it's a happy Eid Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters. So now that's not a problem about the food, no? Kasi hindi sila pinapakain nung daytime.
So amongst the 12, I read somewhere though that the male have been interviewed by Philippine authorities.
Mga babae muna.
Babae ang unang interview.
And then now, mga lalaki na.
Okay.
So finally, nakausap, no? This is a day-to-day thing. By the way, I would also like to take this opportunity kasi sabi ni Ambassador Melicor Romel, shout out to him, na mayroong lumalabas sa social media na yung embassy nagpakulong sa kanila.
Could you clarify that,
That's
please?
absolutely not the case because when we said do not go on rallies, we were following Qatari law and mas lalong hindi tayo magpapakulong ng ating mga kababayan doon. That is never a policy of the Philippine government. And we're in fact trying to get them out.
But Yusek, will they be detained for a long period of time? Can they post bail or?
Sabi ni Ambassador, it doesn't work daw yung bail doon. No? Iba yung constitutional system doon. They will, after the investigation, either be released or charged.
I see.
And if they're charged formally, of course, we have the lawyers for them. It could be as high as a 3-year sentence. Now, I'd like to think just going to a picnic or a family gathering will not lead to a 3-year sentence. Maybe it will lead to deportation. So sayang, nagpumunta sila para magtrabaho. Or maybe, baka maging lenient then after it's aid, no? You know, the UAE government, and we thank again the UAE government, just released 115.
Right.
So, basta, ang ating ambassador at saka team niya, laging tumutulong sa mga kabayan natin. So we hope for the best. One thing also, Qatar wants some order in the government because in the country, majority of people in Qatar are not Qataris. So I think if they allowed foreigners to keep rallying due to domestic politics in their country, gulo-gulo ng Qatar. So that may explain also why they're rather strict.
So many of the residents there are foreigners.
80%.
80.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a lot.
maybe 75%. But you ask any
So
Qatari,
they want to keep their laws really strict. There, I guess,
and yes, but it goes to show.
And upheld.
And besides, our kababayans are our best ambassadors. That's why they are very lenient to us. No, so the Myanmar and Thai authorities, by the way, before this sad incident, they were able to process the quick repatriation of scamming victims in Myanmar. There's still about 50 left. We're trying to repatriate them, but obviously there won't be a repatriation in the next week or two.
Anytime soon.
Uunahin muna. Pero makakauwi din yan, no?
Okay.
So we'll update you on that.
All right. We'll get more details on this, all these developing stories. Undersecretary, again, it's good to see you. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, DFA Undersecretary Eduardo De Vega. Thank you. And that's On Point. Join us again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.